Favorite part right there. Favorite part. Just my favorite part. All right. What's happening, guys? How you doing? Hamburger podcast. Soapbox Sunday. Let me just throw up the Facebook. It's funny, they're still blocking me on the other Facebook. I think that's just fantastic because it's like we're 3 months. Like, how am I blocked 3 months? You know what I'm saying? How am I blocked? I'm not even that interesting. But they're obviously I'm saying things that worry them, if that makes sense. Like, obviously I'm saying things that scare them. They don't want getting out there because I'm blocked in so many ways. You know, I've been blocked on TikTok. People have done the sickish. I haven't done anything sick on TikTok, but I've been blocked on TikTok. Absolutely amazing. Yeah. I had 400 something thousand views on silly stuff. And then I started posting because I got people involved on silly shit. Now I'm starting to post like real shit. And well, guess what? Now I'm getting blocked. And it was the weirdest thing. But people don't get that. Okay, let me just tickety tag a few of you. I got you guys kind of set up here. You know who I need to get in my is who? What's why can't I think of it? I'm so slow. Raylene, thank you. I need to get Raylene Shang into my easy spin around there because you know, makes it easier. Anyway, guys, how you doing? Okay, so this is what I want to talk about for a second. I mean, I was just reading this article the other day, and it really hit me. And it's like, because see, I was thinking this, right? Like, why listen to those who so badly want to not live like or near us? Not religion, not race, but similarity in life and morals is what should bind people. So it shouldn't matter whether you're rich, poor, or whatever. It's like, if you respect human beings and you treat human beings well, then you should work with people who also respect human beings, but you should hire people who also respect human beings. You shouldn't hire someone who's going to do exactly what you want and, you know, like, I mean, except for in the job itself, meaning they're not going to agree with you. They're not going to live the life you want and do this to have the job. They're going to do a good job. They're going to provide you good job or a good service or a good this or a good that. And they're going to offer you quality, and that's it. And whatever they do in the rest of their life, as long as they're not hurting children or hurting people, you know, physically hurting people. And again, you can't include abortion because that's an open issue. I'm talking about really actually hurting, living out of the vagina children or people in any way, then yeah. But other than that, you know what I'm saying? It's like, we need to come together as those people who realize that the world has gotten insane, that there's such a huge disparity in income. And so let me just, God, son of a bastard, I hate when I hit the wrong thing. Let me just tell you like this. Okay, for example, this is just what I'm saying. Okay, so that's one of LeBron's many cars. Now, I know what you're saying. Yeah, but, you know, he earned his money. Did he really? I mean, again, neither did the owners of the teams. Let me just tell you. Not the owners of the teams, not LeBron, not any other color, other race, other religion, anything else, players in the NBA. No, they didn't earn that much money. They just charged that much money. And since they get it, they get it. But no, did they really do anything to earn $400,000 for a game, per game? Did anyone do anything to earn $500,000? Again, the coaches, the players, the owners, Sam Walmart, none of these people should be getting this much. Again, it's not about LeBron. It's not. I actually kind of like LeBron James in a sense, in that he does give back. But how about stop giving back and you just don't get as much? Nobody gets as much. And then you don't need to give back. Like, I don't need anything from you unless you're part of the reason that a movie ticket is $20 now. You know what I'm saying? If you're part of the reason that for me to go to a game or for me to buy a car, or for me to do anything, to live and breathe, use gas, anything is so expensive, I need you to stop that. And that's what I'm trying to kind of say here is that this needs to stop. Okay. It's gone too far. It's ridiculous. Now I'm going to tell you this is I'm going to show you something, and somebody brought this up to me and it made a lot of sense. Now follow me. Where am I? And they said LeBron James is a slave owner. He's telling you, the American public, and telling us that we're racist as he makes millions dribbling his basketball on the top of Chinese slaves' heads. Yet nothing is said. This was from a former Chinese slave. Do you see? This came from a former Chinese slave. I'm going to show you one more time what I'm talking about. These are LeBron's shoes. Okay, if you're going to hold people responsible for what their granddaddies did and everyone else did, I think you have to hold yourself a little responsible for the fact that your name is printed on shoes that are stepping on the heads of Chinese children, that are murdering people every day. Every day, your shoes are part of murder, and people are buying them. And poor people, young black men especially, are killing each other over your guys' shoes. Why don't you just drop the price to like $10 a fucking pair of shoes and make everyone across the board take less money? And then no young black man will kill each other over a $10 fucking pair of shoes, but they're still badass shoes. Everyone's going to want them. They're just not going to have to pay $300 fucking dollars and wait in line where they kill each other again. So you're okay with people killing themselves over your shoes. You're okay with your shoes being a huge product of slavery in China. You're okay with children and women being beaten and enslaved over making your shoes. You're okay with living like this with your huge gate, your wrought iron plantation master's house gate. You're okay with all that. You're okay with driving a car that car alone could literally change the lives forever of 2 black families. I'm not being like, 50. No, 2. The car's like probably about $1 million. You gave 2 black families $500,000. They could go and start their own farm, but they could then exponentially help so many other black people. But you're not doing any of that. Do you know that just between sports alone, the angry black people, the Kaepernicks, the Lebron James, all these people that are so mad about the horribleness of their billions of dollars or their millions and millions of dollars, again, like Bill Gates, like all these other twats that are so upset about their millions and billions of dollars, why don't you guys all go and buy part of the United States or an island or another country, or buy us out of this country and pay us to leave? I'll go. I'll leave. Someone wants to pay, I'll leave. I'll leave this motherfucking piece of shit country. I'll tell you in 2 seconds. Because you know what? Those people are like, it's America. You should be. What would I be proud of? That we all hate each other? That the rich people are all playing us like puppets? That they're every color? They eat, they sit down and have dinner together. All races, they all fuck, they all do whatever, and they don't question shit, and they have the best time. But they keep telling us to fight with each other, and we keep following along like puppets and idiots. But let me ask you a question. How many regular black people has Black Lives Matter organization helped? How many handicapped people have these service things really helped, as opposed to how much is being embezzled? How many poor white kids in the Ozarks and shit ever really get the money that's collected for them? Wake up. How many religions are sharing their money that they collect? Oh, shit, that hurt. Oh, shit, that hurt. Sorry, it makes my whole arm go numb if I sneeze. Oh, that hurts. Oh, it pops my jaw out. Sorry, I'm old. I'm fucked up, okay? I screwed up my whole shoulder and my knee. Everything's messed up. I have to deal with these twats in the world who think that because they're doctors, they're fucking workers' comp doctors. They're horrible. Anyway, the point being is, why am I going to keep listening to these idiots? You know what I'm saying? Like, they had a thing where Excuse me. Oh, ow, shit. That's horrible. Sorry. Ugh. Anyway, see, this is what I'm saying is like, I'm not calling anyone on shit. I'm not against anyone. This is what people don't understand. Please understand this. I am not against anyone. I am not against transgender being accepted for whatever gender they want to see themselves. I just don't have to accept what they believe. I just have to accept them. And for everybody, just having their rights to be, as long as you're not hurting anyone else. See, I'm just tired of all these people being full of shit and tricking everybody and lying. And you're being lied to. There's no way Lebron James, since the age of like 15, has ever known what it's like to really be a poor black man in America. And that's what he doesn't understand. What it's like being a poor black man in America. Or even how horrible it is being a really tall man who's poor in America, because you can't buy anything that fits you. You can't get a car that fits you. You can't get anything. So he doesn't even know what it's like being a poor tall guy in America, much less a poor black person in America or a poor person. He never talks out about income disparity. He never talks out about how expensive his shoes are. Pay attention. This is what I'm saying. There's a white devil, trust me. There's a lot of white devils, but there's also a lot of black devils, Asian devils, Latin devils, Middle Eastern devils, everything else, Israeli devils, Palestinian devils. There's devils everywhere. They're trying to get you to focus. Remember, the greatest trick the devil ever did was make you think that he didn't exist. The devil made you think that he didn't exist. Well, how about if the devil made you think that it was just him and not an army of devils? An army of devils controlling all of us. Why don't you wake up? Why don't you stop? Just stop for 1 second, because I could do this right now. I don't support David Duke or the White National Party or white supremacy or the Jewish Defense League or the Jewish Mafia. I don't support any of these things whatsoever. I don't support any of them. And not one of them has anything to do with me or gives a shit about me. I mean nothing to any of them, but I in no way support any of them. Why would any of you support or listen to any of these people who in no way really understand your life? If you buy books for my neighborhood or you give back a little bit, that's nothing, because you're getting so much. It's like Oprah never donated shit till she had a ton of money, and then she's a philanthropist. Bitch, you get taxed. You have to donate. But nobody wakes up to you have to donate. By the way, nobody who watches share this. I don't care if this never gets out. Everyone tries to block me. I am blocked in so many different situations, and I don't care. One day people are going to wake up to the fact that as long as they keep blocking my voice. See, that's what I'm saying is Ben Shapiro, who actually makes a lot of sense. And then he goes like this. Then he gets a little racial. And then he gets a lot elitist, where, oh, anybody can make it, and it's not about having money or not having money. So you see, he's still pushing an agenda, as opposed to saying, no, nothing's fair in America. We got to stop pretending it's equal or fair. If we're going to want it to be equal and fair, it's got to be equal and fair for everyone. Latin people, Asian people, white people, men, women, Middle Eastern, Palestinian, Muslim, Hindu, Satanists, everyone, as long as they are not physically hurting anyone. It has to become equal for everyone, just across the board. We can't cater to a group. We can't cater to any group. That's been the problem in America forever. We catered to white people. Now we're catering to black people. Why don't we cater to the human race? Why don't we cater to humanity in America? Why don't we lower the entire fucking income level? It's not neat that Bezos is making billions of dollars. That's not neat. That's pathetic. That's pathetic that one man is making that, one person is making that much money. That's pathetic, and it shouldn't be allowed. He should be allowed. If anyone doesn't realize we need a cap, whether you're conservative or Republican, a socialist, a liberal, a Democrat, whatever you are, capitalist even. If you don't realize we need a cap on income because it's not backed by reality. And unless the income is actually backed by something solid, it's fake. So we need to cap this income because it's not fair. Again, for LeBron James to make more than 10 teachers make a year in one game. And again, I keep saying LeBron James, man, go across the board in that fucking in basketball, in baseball, and soccer, and everything. Not American soccer because they suck balls, but the English Premier League and stuff like that. There's people making millions and millions, hundreds of millions of dollars to play a game. There's coaches making hundreds of millions of dollars to coach a game. And then you got the hot dog vendor making minimum wage. They can't buy a house. They're all there the same amount of time. They all put energy into what they're doing. But the hot dog vendor that day makes 1/10 of the lowest paid player. If you can't wake up to that, then you can't wake up to anything, and nothing matters. You don't want equality. You want superiority. If you can't wake up to the fact that the income level is so uneven, and the fact that because of shoes like LeBron James, because of his showing off these type of cars and placating into the materialistic world of this type of bullshit, is why young black men and young black women are killing each other, and tons of other people, tons of other young people, again, all the races. They're killing each other because of wanting to be like LeBron, wanting his shoes, wanting things like that. And if you don't get that, you don't get anything. I mean, that's all. I can't wake you up to anything. There's nothing whatsoever I could possibly wake you up to because you won't wake up, period. And again, I'm not talking about you need to see my way. You need to vote Trump. You need to vote Biden. You need to do this. I will tell you this, though. I do have to ask you this. Let me go back to my little deal here. I like doing this. I'm kind of proud of myself. I'm going to be honest. But so here's the deal. Kamala Harris targeted African American women with her truancy law. She put them in jail and took their kids. It offered a $2,500 way out for the rich and mostly white parents. See, follow this for a second. Kamala Harris, where she was in charge, she passed a law of truancy. Now, all she had to do was look at the numbers, and she could have seen that a huge percentage disparity was African American children being truant, mostly because of single parents and mostly single mothers. She put a law in place that made them liable. And even though they were at work, even though they were trying to feed their kids and they didn't know, maybe they didn't even know their kids didn't go to school that day. If it kept happening, they'd go to jail. And yeah, some of the kids were little dickheads and they'd keep ditching. And then their parents would go to jail and then they'd lose the kid. And the kid was in foster care. And that kid grew up to kill a lot of kids. See, but you're not getting it. But Kamala Harris, forget that, because you know why? Kamala Harris was hanging out with Snoop Dogg, guys. She hangs out with Snoop Dogg. Harris hanging out with Snoop Dogg doesn't make her cool. It shows what a truly piece of shit sellout Snoop Dogg is. He's an entire, total sellout fraud. He's part of the machine. If you don't get that, you don't get his history. You don't get where he comes from. You don't get who he's related to. You don't see the product being put out. Okay, just wake up to it. Look around your neighborhoods. There's all of us there. Every one of us know each other. Who we don't know is we don't know LeBron. We don't know Bill Gates. We don't know John Travolta. We don't know Tom Cruise. We don't know any of these people telling us anything. You know what I'm saying? We don't know these people. And they were never really going through the stuff we went through anyway. They say they did, and we find out their stories are fake all the time. Nipsey Hussle was a real story. But see, Nipsey Hussle, Nipsey Hussle, before he died, like seconds before he died, as he was dying, not one of those people gave a shit about him. Then there was such an outpour in the community of love for him, in the community that did love him. The Crenshaw community, South Central community, Compton community loved Nipsey Hussle. Again, I'm going to tell you, I probably knew him better than most the people that went to the funeral and did all this. I didn't know him at all. I knew him as, hello, hey, Teach. That's how I knew him. He'd call me Teach. I'd say hi. I'd go to Harold's and get my breakfast sandwich. I'd go to Harold's and get my hamburger. I'd go to Louisiana Chicken and get my nuggets. If I was feeling frisky that day, I'd go over to Woody's and get some rib tips. Boom! How you doing? Love rib tips. Barbecue is the best fucking. Barbecue is better than sex, but having barbecue while having sex is fucking amazing. So the point I'm trying to make is her hanging out with Snoop wasn't cool. Her pretending she cared about Nipsey Hussle wasn't cool because she didn't. She didn't care about Nipsey Hussle. None of them did. 90% of those people that you saw pretending they cared about him to give a fuck about him, they actually hate him. Most of those people in the industry tried to stop him because he was an independent. He didn't sign with them. He didn't follow their shit. And he didn't have to be scared of them because he was a true gangster. Not to be proud of. Not like he wasn't proud of being a gangster. He was what he was. But it was real. So if they would have came at him, he would have killed them for realies. Like not, oh shit, this ended up going too far that day type of shit. So they knew that, so they weren't going after him. That's just how it was. Oh God, there's riots in Kenosha. This is what I'm talking about, guys. Can we just stop for a second? If you want to fire the cop, fine. I mean, 7 times was ridiculous. I mean, I agree with that 100%. Shooting someone in the back 7 times is ridiculous. Shooting him 1 time was complete, or 1 or 2 times. I'd say 1 time. 1 shot, see if it stops him. Totally understandable. Even if he'd have just shot him 1 time in the back or the head, totally understandable. He was reaching for the car. He wasn't listening. Totally blast him in the fucking face. 1 time. 7 times, fucking excessive. That's somebody who maybe shouldn't have had a gun in their hand. Do you know what I'm saying? Maybe that's not the cop that should have had the gun. So I totally get everything. Fire the cop. Hold him civilly responsible, hold the department civilly responsible. I totally get that, and it sucks for their family that young man's dead. He was a dick, though, and he was also ignoring a restraining order. He wasn't breaking up a fight. That's a fucking lie. He wasn't breaking up a fight at all. He was causing the fight. He was the fight. The cops got there because his baby's mama called on him. Follow me. So they fill us with bullshit. Like I said, just like the Floyd thing, the cops are going to get off and there's going to be riots. There's going to be riots, but there shouldn't be because the cops shouldn't be in trouble. They didn't kill Floyd. Floyd did pass a fake $20 bill. There was a brown person who called on him. I get it, but they never hit him with a club. They never tased him. They never maced him. Does anyone even think about that? That if they were out to get him, they'd have first maced him a couple times, burned the eyes. You know what I'm saying? Really give it to him and club him a couple good times. Boobity bobbity boo. And then take him into the stick hold, bring him down, put the knee on the neck and really hold him with the stick there and choke him. See what happened to the Eric dude in the New York? Murder. That cop deserved murder 1. He choked him. What happened to the guy who was put in the back of the car and then the truck thing, the van, and then driven all around, no seatbelt and stuff, and they were being total assholes and smashing them around? That's murder. Those cops should be up on murder. I'm all for that. That goes above and beyond the job. You purposely did this. That's murder. What happened to Floyd wasn't murder whatsoever. What happened to this Jacob guy, since he's alive, is culpable delinquency. I mean, it was awful. He shouldn't have been reaching into his car. It's just that goddamn simple. I think it was Herschel Walker's son made a statement and said, look, even a kindergartner knows the teacher tells you to stop doing something, you just stop doing something. You won't get in trouble. And it was like, okay, like, yeah, I get, that's what I'm saying. There's different cases. Trayvon Martin, murder. See, that's what I'm saying. Is the 2 cops, the Eric, goddamn it, Eric Phillips, Eric something like that in New York, the cigarette guy, the other guy, the Ethiopian guy, or whatever he was, or the Haitian guy in the back of the truck, those 2 cops, go get them. Go get them. And they should be up for murder. The Trayvon Martin, the fact that Zimmerman walks is a spit in the face of the entire black community. The fact that there's nobody badass enough to go take out fucking this dude who took out this innocent fucking, I don't care if Trayvon Martin was kicking his ass. He shouldn't have been fucking, the cops told him, leave it alone. Leave it alone. He didn't follow orders. Just like Jacob didn't follow orders. by the police. George Zimmerman didn't follow the police's orders, but he killed Trayvon Martin still, even though he got his ass kicked specifically because he did not follow the police orders. Yet he's off. He's free. And nobody's gone after him. No, he's making money on autographs, but nobody protests his house. Why isn't his house surrounded every day? Because there's an agenda and his dad's a judge. There's an agenda and his dad's a judge. There's an agenda and his dad's a judge. Guess what? There's an agenda. His dad's a judge. There's an agenda. He doesn't fit it. He's a Jew. I'm a Jew. I'm not shitting on Jews. He's a Jew, though. And he's a Colombian or Cuban, Puerto Rican, something Jew. He's a Latin Jew. That's what he is. He fits no agenda they want, and he comes from a rich family. Powerful. Like, not powerful, but the dad's a circuit judge, a retired circuit judge. He knows people all over Florida. Guess what? So explain to me, LeBron James, explain to me, everybody else, Spike Lee, across the board out there, Black Lives Matters. Explain to me why you are not protesting George Zimmerman every day of his life. Why do you not follow this man around and harass him every day of his life? He murdered a young innocent. I don't mean somebody who shouldn't have been shot that much or this and that. I mean completely innocent, should have been left the fuck alone. Never should have been hassled. Raised right. Good kid. Murdered him because he was kicking his ass because George Zimmerman came after him. Trayvon Martin was kicking George Zimmerman's ass because George Zimmerman came after Trayvon Martin. Trayvon Martin was defending himself. But George Zimmerman sells autographs and makes money. And you're saying Black Lives Matter? You're telling me there's no agenda? You're telling me the real people behind Black Lives Matter aren't Jewish and aren't transgender? Is that what you're telling me? Because if the real people behind Black Lives Matter, sorry, my hair goes backwards. By the way, I just want to say this real quick. Right? I mean, fuck. Anyway, the real people behind Black Lives Matters are Jews and transgender. It's two transgender or lesbian women and a transgender person and all these people who started all this and Jewish people who did all this. Their message has nothing to do with the Trayvon Martins. They don't give a fuck. They hate Trayvon Martins. Black Lives Matters doesn't give a fuck about the Trayvon Martins. They use these issues to push their agenda. I wish they cared. You understand that I am calling for the entire harassment of George Zimmerman, the people to find where George Zimmerman lives, go after George Zimmerman's entire livelihood and existence. But he just lives free. The cops who killed actually murdered the cigarette selling guy. The guy sold fucking cigarettes, okay? He wasn't even resisting. Or even if he was resisting, you choked the fuck out of him and killed him. That was murder. He was a cigarette salesman. The kid who was running away, you could have just let him run. I mean, whatever. He didn't have a gun. That was different. The kid who pulled the fake gun, no. The Breonna Taylor thing. Did anyone ever think with the Breonna Taylor thing that those cops were sent to the address? They went into the address on bad knowledge, but thinking it was good. The boyfriend shot, rightfully so. He should have been shooting at whoever was breaking into his house to defend himself. He had every right to shoot. No questions, no words needed. He had every right to shoot. The cops, thinking these are the bad guys, start shooting back like they should if this was the bad guys. Whoever fucked up the address, they need to find out why. Like, really, because it could even get as deep as on purpose. But forget that. Whoever fucked up the address needs to be held liable for all that. That's huge. They fucking ended a life. But the boyfriend, the cops, and Breonna Taylor didn't, unless the cops were the ones who came up with everything, watched the house and said, we're going to get them. then yeah, the cops are liable for murder. But if they just went on what they were told to do with the understanding that there were bad people in there and then they're getting fired upon and they fire back, what would you do? If you're a cop, you're going into a place that you think there's bad people and people start shooting at you, you shoot back, right? You yell police, shoot back. They said they didn't yell police. They said they did yell police. There was a difference in that. But the fact is, it wasn't murder. It wasn't intentional. Unless you can show me how they went in there to purposely kill the boyfriend or Breonna Taylor for some reason. You can show me that, then I get it. Otherwise, it was somebody's huge fuck up who needs to be held responsible, but not those cops. They did their job. And the boyfriend, Jesus Christ, how bad. I mean, how sad for him to lose her and the family to lose her over that shit. That's horrible. He was a good person. He was a good person. The boyfriend and Breonna Taylor, they were good. They're good people. Like, he's a good person. They didn't deserve that at all. That was atrocious. And unfortunately, and I hate saying this, but civilly, they need to be compensated huge. And somebody has to be held liable for the information that happened. But the cops didn't go out to murder someone unless they did, unless you can show me they purposely wanted to kill her. And that's what I'm saying. The guy with Floyd, it's in the manual with the knee on the neck. That's part of the thing, of the restraint. It's what they're taught. He just did what they're taught. If you want to fault somebody for that move, you fault the trainers who are teaching them this. But how do you fault a cop for doing what they're supposed to do? This is the insanity that they're tricking you on. This is what they did to the Nazi children. This is what they did in Nazi Germany to get everybody going. Sein Jews are rats. They're rats. They have to die. They've taken everything from you. Meanwhile, Jews didn't take anything. They just worked their ass off and hustled diamonds and were scumbags. You know, they were rich, Rudy-tooty scumbags. That's what we were in Germany. We were a bunch of thumb our noses at the poor Germans bastards. This is what we were. But we weren't rats and we weren't horrible and we shouldn't have been. They shouldn't have tried to exterminate all of us in any way. And then it might turn out that again, there was the Rothschild, I think I'm saying it right, Rothschild family behind it all, along with other Jewish families that funded the Holocaust. So you never really know what's going on anyway. So there's different stories. The point I'm trying to make, why do we keep jumping on each other? Why are we letting them make us, why are we chess pieces in their game? Why are we going to fight each other? Why are we going to let them walk us into a fucking race war? None of us, we all play together. We all hang out together. We all fuck each other. We all love each other. We hate each other. We do all that together. But it's not really based on our races and things like that. We're all hanging out. We're working together. We're doing this, you know, it's Black Mike and White Joe and fucking Charlie the Mexican and this and that. And they're idiots, but they know each other like that. And that's just what they do. And they don't mean anything. And they all hang out and they love each other and they'd all fight for each other and they protect each other and they loan each other money. When White Mike's fucking house burnt down, Black Joe and or whatever, Black Jim and Mexican Joe, they ran over there and they helped White Mike rebuild his house. Sometimes they call him Peckerwood just for fun because he's kind of a redneck. And they don't really realize the word Peckerwood now, its connotation is very racist. But, you know, they're Black and Mexican and he's white and they all joke with each other and it's no big deal and they don't mean nothing by it. You see. But you're trying to stop them. You got to put an end to them. You got to shut them down, man. You got to stop that. Meanwhile, it's okay for Harris to pass laws that totally decimate fucking Black people. It's okay for Harris to say that she believes Joe Biden's a fucking harasser at minimum. At most, a fucking rapist, right? That she believes that. And she believes his accusers. But I'll go ahead and run next to him, you know, because he's a great guy. None of you are going, what the fuck? I mean, that's stupid. I know Trump lies. I know Trump makes shit up. I know he pulls stuff out of his ass all the time. I know that 100%. I don't think for a second this dude is like going, is Berger okay? How's Berger and his family? Are they doing okay? I want to know. China. I want to know, does Berger, is he doing okay? Is he good? You know, and I don't think Trump cares about that. I'm going to be honest. I don't think he cares about me too much. I think he cares about America. I think he cares about showing off. I think he cares about having a legacy. I think he cares about winning. But I'm not saying he's a good guy. But how do you vote for these people when they've said the things they've said? How do you justify backing them? Like, as a black person, how could you ever justify voting for Harris or Biden? Biden specifically came out for segregation. Biden has said horrible things. Biden even said, again, poor kids are just as smart as white kids. If you don't vote for me, you're not black. Segregation, it is good. Stuff like that. I don't know if he said that part, but the rest he said. What I'm saying is all the other things he said, all the weird things, all the creepiness about him, everything weird and creepy, right? Okay, so let's jump over a little. Ready? Harris makes a law that puts tons the marijuana law, which she knows is going to target in her area many African-American people, black people, poor people, but black people. But she passes it and puts lots in jail. She passes the truancy law, which puts majority of black women in jail. Not the majority of black women, but the majority of the people who went to jail over the truancy law were black women, single moms, single black moms. That's who she put in jail with her truancy law. But none of you are going to wake up to that, huh? Nobody's going to go, there's just logic. It's just what it is. It's just logic. These people that are telling us how outraged they are, Nancy Pelosi, all these people that are so worried about all of us, they make so much more money and have so much more than us. Them and Trump are the same exact people, but Trump's not pretending that he thinks I should have what he has. Trump's not pretending he cares about me having. He cares about me having the opportunity to go kill myself and bust my ass and suck ass and blow nuts to try and get money. He supports that. He supports me like sucking up to somebody like him to try to move up a little and then let my kids move up and then let their kids move up. He supports that, and that's fine. They don't even support that. They support saying they care about all of us poor people, and yet they have the same type of money and the same lifestyle as Trump. If you can't wake up to that he tells you he is who he is, he acts like who he is, he's a schmuck. He's an elitist, fucking total narcissist guy who I happen to dig what he's doing with the country, and I kind of dig his presidency, but that's who he is. These other people are telling you they care about you. They're telling you they love you, and they're doing, but Trump's actually passing laws that change things. Again, you got to question why Susan B. Anthony wasn't pardoned before Trump did it. Like, you would think that someone would make fun of him and go, dude, Kennedy did that. Dude, Clinton did that. Dude, Obama did that. No, Trump did it. Trump did it. I'm just saying. Please wake up a little bit, people. Just wake up. I'm Burger. This has been Soapbox Sunday. If you don't share it, I don't care. I hope you and your computer get herpes.